This week's episode of the STS Guys is brought to you by YardSalesSource.com. Miss out on Father Time's objects of desire the first time around? Fear not and take heed, for YardSalesSource.com is the place for new, used, and nostalgic items, both rare and collectible, are up for grabs, now with real-time video with descriptive shopping available on YouTube. Acquire what you desire, acquire what time forgot, acquire it now at YardSalesSource.com.
Shut up and sit down.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 14 of the STS Guys. I'm Jeremy.
This is Leo.
This is Nate.
And I'm Scott.
What is going on, everybody? Like I said, we have officially hit 14 episodes.
14,
that is awesome.
The big 1-4.
Big 1-4.
Big 1-4.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly, I think one thing is pretty awesome. Like I said, we've been very, very consistent about making sure that one, we're putting the podcast on because I know it's something that we all like to do together. But then two, like I said, there's actually been a ton of content to actually talk about. Over the course of time.
I didn't realize how much shit that we actually have, like legit, like that we can actually put on the channel. Like I thought we'd struggle for videos at some point, and it has not happened.
It has not slowed down at all. And then actually, so we've gotten so busy, we've had to add, a fifth Beatle to the mix.
He's that weird guitarist that sits off on the corner, when they're trying to play, just to, the rhythm guitarist guy.
Nate, is that you?
That is me.
Wow, man.
The audience gets a little depressed when I come out on stage, but we have a good time nonetheless.
They're like, "Is that John Lennon?" No, that's the
that's
backup
Nate.
guitar guy.
Guy.
That's Nate.
He's the new guy.
He's the new guy.
He's the new guy.
We gave Nate a hard time, but like I said, he's definitely a welcome member of the crew here
with a valuable opinion.
Thank you, sir.
We need someone that actually likes DC stuff, so that it keeps us in check.
So it's such a balanced conversation.
Yeah, so we actually can have some balance because
even though we went out and bought a DC comic, all of us, I'll still be the resident DC expert.
Yeah, I will bow my head to that because like, it'll always be that way. But honestly, right now, to your point though, like I said, comics wise, DC's kicking ass.
Oh, dude, the Metal series.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it on our first podcast.
Yeah,
and it has only gotten better from that first time.
So we had,
as have we.
Yeah. So we
exactly.
had some pickups this week. So Nate, what did we pick up this week?
We picked up Batman: The Man Who Laughs, which is part of the DC Metal series. It's that standalone. Love the comic book art on that too.
That cover is amazing.
Yeah, I love the little robins, and that Batman looks really evil and nasty, and I love he has that half Joker face going on. So yeah, I'm super excited to read that.
No, one thing I said, like that cover too. I love Jason Fabok's art. Fabok's art, like I said, he just brings so much detail into a character. Like I said, it just makes it look amazing.
Well, and he is able to capture kind of like a menacing thing without actually having it be too bad. Like, the Batman thing in there, he's literally just standing there. Like that's all he's doing. But the way he's standing and the look of everything with all the chains and things around, like it's awesome. If anybody hasn't seen it, just look it up online. The cover for that, the foil cover specifically, is amazing.
Yeah, we got a really nice Taste of Fabok with the button. His covers on that were just amazing, and he continues to impress every single time he's got a new cover.
No, him as a cover artist, like I said, it blows me away everything. Well, and it's coming to a point too where I can actually, if he has a cover out there, I'm like I automatically know. I don't even need to look at the signature. It's automatically there. So we did that this week. We also had another kind of a couple things come in the mail as well. So we've got a couple videos in regards to that. So our friend Half Geek actually sent us over a figure. So that figure is that Grinch Chase Funko Pop for my wife. So that was good. So thank you again, Half Geek. So if you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and check out that video. Then Larry, he snagged a couple of the Stanley, basically cameo exclusives from Walmart.
Those things were ridiculously inexpensive too, surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Walmart, like I said, when they sell stuff, like I said, $8.78 for a pop, like it's
right. When you said what it was like $16 or something like that he got that whole thing for
$16, and it shipped to the store, so you don't have to pay shipping for it. But yeah, those things sold out in seconds.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
When he had said that he got them, I went on because I was like, oh, I should go get one too, and they not a one. Like those things were gone.
Yeah, it's like I said, they pop up there and then they sell out and they're
if you don't jump on it at the very beginning, you missed out.
yeah. If you ain't first, you're last.
With
That's
that
the
one
thing, though.
especially, yeah.
I mean, if you're going to be a collector of anything, you got to know when's the good time to jump on it and when to be ready for it when it does drop.
Yeah, because I was looking to get a couple of those things, but it wasn't one of those where I was like so ready that I was gonna, kind of keep watch on it. So I was like, I'll just wait till they're available and jump on, and that was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, I mean, I don't collect Funkos, but even with Mezco pre-orders, you got to jump on those kind of fast, especially if it's a Mezco exclusive. Otherwise, you're going to miss out. It's like anything, if you really want it, you got to make sure that you're ready for it when it drops.
No, it's getting more and more difficult to do that. Just because like I know there's a couple of things that I've been after. I'm like, okay, well, I have to go, take an early lunch at work and go,
Like a little girl to Hot Topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, there's nothing wrong with that. Or take the early lunch to go to the Disney store.
Calling Tinkerbell.
Disney
Yeah,
store calling
There you
Tinkerbell.
go.
I'm glad that we sent Larry to go do that because watching him yell "Oh Tinkerbell," I think would be. I wish we got that on video.
Yeah.
Well,
kidding.
well,
That would be
just
great.
to that point, though. To that point, there's some more exclusives that are coming out here in the next couple of weeks. So me and Larry were talking about that we got to go get those. But I'm like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna show up early so we can film this whole thing.
Yeah.
Just because I think our audience deserves to see basically
What the
some
Disney store
some grown ass adult men calling Tinkerbell,
So they
so
can
that way
open
they can go
store.
in and buy some toys.
I think that's a good idea. Like, just like if you can't laugh at yourself, there's something wrong.
No, absolutely. It's one of those things where I'm like, okay, as soon as he said what he had to do in order to get this, I'm like,
We're filming this shit.
we have to film this. We have to film this because I'm like, I haven't seen it. I'm like, I got to see this, and then I got to watch myself over and over and over, act like a jackass and call Tinkerbell, like a little girl.
Oh, I could watch that 15 times over. I'd love watching myself be a dumbass.
There's probably a lot of people that don't know that goes on, that don't get there right when the store opens.
How many people go to the Disney store when it first opens? Like,
I
they
had
really
no
never
idea
had
Yeah.
anything that would push people that like, oh, this is like a limited thing. Like, this is one of the first times where they actually have something collectors are gonna want.
Yeah, it's a change in the market demographic of the typical Disney store customer.
Dude, when Larry was over there, a dude that worked at Nordstrom's of all places was over at the Disney store. For God's sakes,
You beat him up to it too.
Beat him
right?
to it, yeah. A dude
In the dark.
a dude in the suit was there.
We take you away from your normally scheduled broadcast of the STS guys to bring you the code word as promised. This week's code word is banana hammock. In order to use this code word, go to stsguys.fun, and under the question, when it asks for a code word, the code word is banana hammock. We now bring you back to your scheduled programming.
The silence is everyone got a text message at the same point in time.
I'm
So
assuming-
I'm assuming it's probably Larry.
He wanted to be in on
So
the
Larry,
recording.
who is not here today, is actively sending us a message. So,
300 subs.
right?
Wow.
So
that
we officially hit 300 on our YouTube channel.
Just now.
Yeah, so honestly, like I said, I'm gonna let you guys kind of all weigh into. For me, like I said, I'm honestly 100% blown away. We started this thing. I said, I have the exact date we started it. We started this August 20th of this year. August 20th, 2017. Like I said, that's when we posted our very first
Inaugural.
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 Blah.
Yeah, I can say it right now because I've learned. 'Cause I've been chastised.
You've said it right every time since.
Over 14 episodes of the chastised ever since then.
It's a running joke.
It's like I said, August 20th, and then honestly, I thought at this point in time we wouldn't be scraping like 25 people wanting to watch our stuff or listen to our podcast or anything else like that. Honestly, to be at 300 subs on our YouTube channel, like I said, it blows my mind.
Yeah. I honestly did not think people would want to hear us talk as much as they actually do.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Yeah, I mean, I joined on late, obviously, but I've been watching you guys since the very beginning. And, it's the way you do the content, the way you do your videos, the unboxings, we're appealing to a lot of different demographics. So I think, our success is in the effort that you put into it. And I've been happy to be a part of it, and I think it's awesome that we're blowing up like we are.
Yeah. It's been going crazy.
Today's Feel Goodery is brought to you by Nate.
Yes. In my heartstrings. Wah, 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 wah.
Well, I mean, to Nate's point, though, we've also done, well, I say we as a group, but you guys have done the mobile episodes the last two weeks. You went down to Tucson. You had Phoenix last weekend. So we've grown from just one mic huddled around in a home office to now having equipment, doing on the road shows, additional content. So we've done a lot more than we even anticipated.
Being officially asked to go places and talk about it.
Well, I'm sure you guys have it at work, but I'll walk the buildings at work, going to meetings or what have you, and I have folks commenting all the time. I even had one guy, he's like, "You caught me red-handed." I'm like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "I'm about to listen to your last episode." I'm like, "Oh, well, I need to listen to that too because the guys were in Tucson. I wasn't there."
And just how cool was it, for me, walking into Phoenix Fan Fest and being able to get that media badge, it was just awesome.
Creds.
Having something that we can accredit to that, and, it's already something that's part of my life, and now I can just express it here on this podcast. I think it's so cool.
Right, and talk and actually be able to go to it and bring that back to everybody else.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's some people out there that don't get to go to conventions. They don't get to go to anything else. I know. Like for me personally, like I said, I love like watching people's like convention, like them walking around, honestly, what they find and different things like that, and honestly, just how does it feel? Like just because there's some conventions that like, so for example, like I said before, Tucson was a thing. I'm like would I have gone to Tucson Comic-Con? Honestly, probably not. But now having been there and actually experienced it,
I might go back.
Yeah, I'm 100% going to go back just because. It's now an experience that I have. I said, and then now I get to share that experience basically with everybody out there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Just watching you guys there makes me want to go check it out next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, like I said, I just want to get all sappy and goopy right now. Scott's providing the
Cue the
background
music.
Cue the music. I just want to say thank you to all of my fellow STS guys. Like I said, I don't think we would be anywhere near as successful as we were if it wasn't for, like I said, all you guys. Like I said, so thank you, everybody for doing that. Leo, Nate, Scott, Larry. Like I said, you guys are great. Like I said, this thing that we started, I'm like, never in a million years would I have thought like sort of we would be where we are right now. So thank you guys.
We wouldn't be here without you, sir.
Agreed.
I thought our parents were going to be our only listeners, so coming on to this is actually quite impressive.
My parents don't know we have one.
Are you embarrassed of us?
No, I don't want to deal with.
He's
the
embarrassed
backlash.
of me.
Yeah, with Scott humming "Amazing Grace" just now. Yeah, I don't know how that would have gone over.
So basically, what you're saying is you're keeping us from subscriber 301
Oh man.
And 302.
and 302. Whoa, come on!
Oh no.
So thank you guys. Thank you, listeners. Thank you to all of our YouTube subscribers, all of our Instagram followers, all of our Twitter followers, all of our SoundCloud followers, for everything that you've done. So we like to do giveaways. So one thing you probably noticed with our channel is we've done several different giveaways. Partly just because we know, like I said. So we want to thank as many people as possible, and so we can't honestly send everybody something at once. But what we can do is we can continue to kind of do these giveaways, and so that's kind of the basis behind those. Is that it's just kind of our way of saying thank you for honestly continuing to stick with us and
listening to our dumbasses talk
and listening to our dumbasses talk. So we definitely appreciate it. Honestly, our current giveaway right now honestly has blown my mind.
I did not think we were going to get the entries that we did. Like I knew that we'd get quite a few people looking at it because it's Star Wars stuff. It's going until the new Star Wars movie.
Yeah, to be clear, we were talking about the Super Mega Star Wars giveaway.
Right.
Whoa, what did you say? Did you say the Super Mega Star Wars giveaway?
I think he just said Super Mega Star Wars giveaway.
Leo, did he say Super Mega Star Wars giveaway?
I think he did say Super Mega. Okay, I messed it up.
Wow.
God
Wow.
damn it, Leo.
I did say the Super Mega Star Wars giveaway.
Yes.
So
that crate is awesome. That's one of the biggest giveaways we've done so far. Not just one item, but we're going to have several
Yeah, if you
inside
have not
that.
checked that out, you need to check it out. We're giving out some great stuff in that.
Right.
And it's just like Jeremy said, to say thanks to the community. You guys have been awesome. And we will always want to try to give back if we can.
Yeah, absolutely. So to enter that, well, first and foremost, in 3 days, there's been 2,178 entries into that contest.
That's insane.
I was really excited that after the first day that we had like 100, and then I woke up the next day and looked on there and there was like 1,000, and I went, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Like,
I remember Jeremy sent out the text about it, and I watched the video, and then I woke up that next morning and we had 50 extra subs. It's just insane.
Well, and like I said, I know there's people out there, like I said, that'll sub just to sub to enter the contest. But you know what? Everybody's welcome. And here's the thing: if just a fraction of those people actually like to tune into an episode, and like I said, it causes them to pause a little bit. And honestly, if they like what they see or they like what they hear, like I said, and then they become, like I said, that engaged member of the community. We have some members of the community that are super engaged. Honestly, I said I got
mentioned one already.
We mentioned one. We mentioned one already last week, and I said honestly this week. So there's one guy that's been great. I said we've kind of grown our channels together. Like I said, I've commented on some of his like videos and stuff. He's commented on all of our videos and stuff like that. I think you know who you are, Brian Rainey, the Southwest Missouri Geek. Dude, you are amazing. That video of you opening that last giveaway, dude, that was amazing.
Yeah, big thank you for all the
big
kind
thank you.
words.
That one,
You
I
said
think
some great stuff.
I wish I could have given the Amazing Grace music for that one because it's an awesome video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said we can't say enough because it's the support of the community. Honestly, it's reactions specifically like that. Honestly, that just make me okay. You know what?
It's worth it.
It's worth it to do this. Like I said, I'm not putting in like hours of editing and hours of doing this and doing that. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's stuff like that makes this whole thing worth it.
If we can make one person's day, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's one of those things where I'm like, I will continue to do this just because, like I said, of reactions like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so cool to see a member of our community so appreciative of the content and then just the nice things you said. So thanks again, man.
Yeah.
No, definitely appreciate that. So there's a couple of different things that have kind of dropped this week, and the big one I want to talk about, and so it's not what the audience is probably thinking I'm going to mention next. I know a lot of people are going to think I'm going to say Justice League, which I said we'll
get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. I think Larry needs to be in on the Justice League thing, so I think we're going to try to get it a day that all 5 of us are there. I think that's a big enough thing. So probably next week's video, I think, or next week's podcast, we'll do the Justice League.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and then like I said, I'm anxious to see what everyone else thinks about it. So there's been a whole bunch of different reviews. So if you've seen something, like I said lately, so there's a big division between the critics and then what the audience is saying. And so I want to go into it kind of okay. So it's 50-50 divided between critics and audience. And so as I'm kind of anxious to see this, with Nate too, just because Nate is definitely, I said, our DC resident expert. I said I follow more of a Marvel base, but you know what? I'm appreciative of any comic book movie, so I'm anxious to kind of talk about this next week's episode as we kind of go through that.
Yeah, I've been excited for Justice League for a long time, so whether or not critics like it, it doesn't matter to me. I want to see it for myself.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I am specifically talking about, and I think even DC fanboy Nate can jump on board with this, is the Punisher.
Yes,
the Punisher.
So let me talk about this. And so we talked about this a little bit before we started recording, and Leo had specifically said, hey, that's an interesting point. So normally I said if the new Netflix series, I'll binge through them. I'm like it'll be 2 days. I'll finish the entire series. So this,
you're like record breaking when it comes to new series.
So
it's like take a Saturday, knock them all out, and then call it good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hence Stranger Things.
Yeah.
You got through that
like
in
Stranger
one
Things.
weekend.
I got through in a couple days.
All the other Marvel ones.
Defenders. Like I said, I got through in 2 days. Like I said, I'll knock them through. So Punisher. So it might surprise people that I'm only 3 episodes into the Punisher. But
how are you and I at the same level of this? Like,
yeah,
we're all there.
I don't know how I feel about it. It's oddly unsettling.
Yeah.
You not binging through a series.
Well, and I'm going to say another prolific thing right now. I think it's my favorite Netflix series
Oh,
as well.
bombshell.
I have
So-
to agree with you on that. I think it's one of the best Netflix series to come out.
Series in
I would
general
even- no,
or
so
Marvel's related?
It's really hard for me because I am really, really into the first season of Daredevil. That first one that came out, you can't really beat that one. It's really hard because it was the first one, and it was really well written. This Punisher series is there for me.
Yeah.
Like I don't know which one is actually going to be my favorite, but they're at least on even terms, which is hard for what the 5th series to come out of that group, right? So you have
Two seasons
No,
of Daredevil.
6.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, so
It's
it's 6.
No, I can't argue with you there. I mean, Daredevil was awesome, and it kind of created this hype for Punisher now.
Yeah.
So,
So that show just is. You'd think it's going to be completely just murder, death, destruction, right? It's the Punisher, but the storyline is actually what gets me. Is that there actually is a good like storyline, and I want to know what's going to happen next.
Well, I think Jon Bernthal's portrayal of the Punisher, like I said, as far as I said, there's perfect castings out there. Like if when you look at the Marvel movies, you look at Robert Downey Jr. Like
Is Iron
That's
Man.
Iron Man.
He is Iron Man.
You can't cast anybody else
If you
as
try to
Iron
put
Man.
anybody else as Tony Stark, it's going to fail.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I said,
exactly.
Is that
Hugh
because
Jackman
he's done it all these years? Like, can you
And
imagine
he just
if you
fits
could you
the
step
character.
back 10 years from when the first one came out and see someone else doing it?
No, even like so, and that's the thing. So just because there's a couple storylines in the comic books where like because Tony Stark is basically the
Alcoholic.
it's the alcoholic is
Gotcha.
it's the thing. It's like when they announced that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be Iron Man, I'm like that right there. It's perfect casting. I don't know what else you could do. Like I said, it's perfect casting. Yeah, so Robert Downey Jr. is, like I said, he's the perfect casting for Iron Man.
Is Tony Stark.
He is Tony Stark.
Yeah, I really took Leo's question. I can't really imagine somebody else playing that character, and I don't know if I'd be fully supportive of it if somebody took that role. Like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Logan was such a great movie. I loved it. Even all the movies that Hugh Jackman did, some of them maybe not rated quite as well as the others, but I can't imagine anybody else playing Wolverine. I think he just embodied that character so well.
With that point though, I think that one's almost opposite in terms of things that I thought, because if you read the comics, Wolverine's like 5 foot something, right? He's this little stocky, angry man, like
Angry Canadian.
angry Canadian, which Canadian ever has been angry, right? Like, oh sorry, eh?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Would you like some maple syrup?
Yeah, like I'll give you some cookies and some things, it'll make it better.
Cookies and some things.
So, like, you want to go to Tim Hortons? Like, there's a Canadian. And then you see, like, 6'2" Hugh Jackman, who's all ripped, show up into the thing. You're like, I don't know if I like that. But he made that role to the point where that's Wolverine now.
Yeah. So that's a good point. So you see so there's two different sides of the coin. There's basically where the actor was basically the perfect fit to play the character, but then there's sometimes the characters where the actors themselves basically force themselves to fit inside that. So I know it's 8 years old now. God, man, it feels so old. And Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
It's just when they announced that Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker, I'm like,
Everyone scoffed.
I am like, there's no way in hell.
You mean the dude from 10 Things I Hate About
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
is going to be the Joker?
Yeah.
He just wasn't known for
And
a
Knight's
role
Tale?
like that.
Yeah, A Knight's Tale.
like, and his basically
Surprisingly with Paul Bettany, right? So him and Jarvis.
Him
I
and
didn't even-
Jarvis.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so who would have thought, like I said, that you would have gotten that performance out of basically an actor who did nothing but like teenage like rom-coms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching The Dark Knight and just being mesmerized by his performance. That interrogation scene, it's one of my favorite scenes in all of the Batman movies.
I went and saw it like 4 times in the theater.
Yeah.
Like, it was just that good.
It was insane. So I think that Jon Bernthal, like, so kind of circling back to the Punisher, like I think this role was built for him. I think he embodies that role so good. When we got the kind of like the short little teasers of it in the second season of Daredevil, I'm like, this has got to be a thing. And so at that point in time, I'm like, maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong if you remember reading this. Punisher wasn't even on the slate at that point in time. And
No,
so
it wasn't until the hype from the second season that built him up to be like, hey, we're going to need to make this series.
And then I think they fast-tracked a series.
Right. The success of that second season and the way that he portrayed the character sold them to want to go forward with a standalone of Punisher.
Just scenes that because he stole almost every scene that he was in.
Yeah. So for them to fast-track a series, so they fast-tracked the series, and for them to be able to fast-track a series that, I said, 3 episodes in, this has grabbed me in such a way. I'm like, this is amazing.
Someone had to be writing this before, or like had thought like they need to get like a storyline out because this is a good story.
All right, so I'm not gonna throw like a whole bunch of spoilers out because, like I said, one, I haven't finished it yet, but then two, like I said, I just in case our audience hasn't had a chance to watch it, so I just want to talk, light spoilery, so you can fast forward a couple seconds, if you want, but so the very very first episode, there's no action in that first episode up until 5 minutes. Oh, sorry. Okay, there's an action scene in the very beginning
that I love.
That Scott loves. So it's like 2 minutes. Fast forward through the entire episode. No action. The last like 10 minutes of the episode, there's a ton of action.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, I think episode 1 is probably going to be my favorite episode of this series. I mean, I'm only in 3, but I just loved episode 1.
Well, that first episode, because I mean, to be all spoiler tag, right? I mean, we already kind of gave it out, but those first couple ones that you talk about that I love, the reason I love it is it's the last couple of people that he didn't kill in Daredevil that he found he's going through and finding, and basically he's completing his revenge thing. And the best one I love is when the cartel guy is in Ciudad Juarez. He's right across the border, and he's saying like, "Fuck the Punisher! Like he can't get me down here! Like we'll kill him." And Punisher snipes him like from across the border. Is one of the best scenes because it just fits that character so well. Like he thinks he's untouchable, the bad guy, and the Punisher just instantly drops him.
Yeah, you are never safe when the Punisher is coming after you.
Well, that and then with that scene specifically, I think it just like. Because you automatically know how far he is away because you hear the shot and then like I said,
the dude's still moving around a little bit.
Still moving around in sights, and then like I said, like 3 or 4 seconds later,
you see the splat.
You see the splat. Like I said, then it backs up to basically
how far away
Punisher basically being on the U.S. side of the border.
It's one of the few times. So one of the things I hate in movies a lot of times is when they try to tell me where something is. When they put like this is in Mexico or whatever. I love the fact that this is in because it says, it shows a guy and it says like, this is in Mexico. And then when he shoots and it pans back to the Punisher, it says like, he's in El Paso. So you're like, oh, he's like a mile away on the other side of the border and just drops this guy.
Yeah. That scene was amazing. Well, then too, so then it cuts to the opening credits. And normally, there's Daredevil's opening credits, I thought were amazing. I said,
I like this one a lot better.
Just the music, that, and the other.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that crawl.
With Iron Fist, I know we shit on Iron Fist a lot. Like I said, I didn't really like it. The Defenders opening stuff didn't, like I said, okay, whatever.
Didn't do a lot for me.
But like I said, just it almost sounds like Johnny Cash type background music, and then you have like the Punisher logo that ends up getting framed up out of all the guns and stuff. Like I said, it's an awesome intro.
Mm-hmm. It is one of my favorite intros out of them, just because of the whole, the smoke kind of helps build the skull and everything. Like
right. Yeah, normally I'm fast forwarding through intros, but this one I wait for it to actually play all the way through because I just love the music. I love just to watch it.
The third episode, which is the one I just finished, is the one that I finally was like, all right, skip intro. Like I watched it the first 2 times. I was like, I'm good. Like I'm happy with that.
No,
I love it.
So we're gonna fast forward a little bit to the last kind of scenes of that first episode. So just to kind of give everyone, I'm not gonna even say the spoiler tag anymore.
Spoilers.
So Frank's a construction worker, and then basically he's just like beating the shit out of this wall,
beating this wall to living death. The
whole episode. Apparently his job at this construction company is take a sledgehammer to wall X.
Well, and right? I think because evidently power tools haven't been invented,
right? Because they're like, it's better than using like a impact hammer or anything.
Well, and I think they play that well too, because you start to realize that him beating up that wall is him releasing frustration about what happened to his family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they play that up well. And then I said, there's these construction workers that think they're the shit. They I said, there's one guy. I said he's top badass. He's basically he has his own little crime ring that he has. And he's,
My favorite quote from him is when the Punisher overhears a couple of things, like they're playing a crime, and he gets up there and he's like, "You want to do something?" He's like, "I will beat your ass without even breaking a sweat." He says this to the Punisher.
Yeah.
Obviously he doesn't know that, but his little badass bravado is amazing in it as to what happens to him.
Absolutely. Well, that, and then earlier too, because so if you remember, I think it's the first or second encounter they had, and when basically
When they're bitching at him about the OT?
when Frank's looking at the hammer and he's like, "Oh, you want to do something with the hammer?" And he's like, "I'll shove that hammer up your ass."
Yeah.
And then you fast forward.
Taking digs at him the whole episode,
Yeah.
and you as a viewer just know you should probably not mess with this guy.
Yeah.
Dude, he freaking... spoiler, because I'll add it. He later uses that exact hammer to decapitate somebody using that hammer.
He does quite a bit with that hammer, actually.
Yeah.
He breaks somebody's
At
leg.
the end, when he's like, "What are you going to do with that?" He's like, "I'm going to find a place for this."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, shit."
And so as soon as he said that, I'm like, "Oh my!" I'm like, "This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great." And then that's the end of that first episode. I'm like, "Okay, I'm hooked."
Well, it's not
Yeah,
even the end, because to give some people context, a kid that's nice to him, everyone else is a dick to him, but there's one kid who's the new guy is nice to him and gets kind of caught up in the crime ring, and they complete a job, but his wallet falls out. So all the people that
They
they just robbed sees this guy's ID, and so the guys he was robbing with are going to kill him. So they, are trying to kill this kid, and so the Punisher comes in to save him.
Yep.
So after he dispatches the construction workers, you're like, "Oh, that's it. He's going to leave." It's one of the best scenes because you see almost nothing in it, but it was when he goes back to the freaking poker game that they robbed, and all the guys have all these guns laid on the table, ready to be like, "We're gonna go find this kid. We know his name is, Jose Chavez or whatever it was, right?" They're like, "We're gonna find this kid." The lights go off, and you just start seeing gun flashes, and then one of the guys flips on the light, and everyone in the room is dead.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just such a cool build-up because you can tell the whole episode he's trying to be good. He's trying to maybe live what it is, a normal life
not be
to
the
him.
Punisher.
And, he knows what he's capable of, so he's trying to restrain himself when those guys are antagonizing him. And then you just see him fully unleash himself towards the end when he's defending that guy and, just takes out the construction workers and then goes even further by going back to that club and just wrecking house.
Yeah,
I mean, anybody who would have known who it was that robbed him
is gone.
is gone.
So that first episode, amazing. And then I said, then you start to get introduced into his future sidekick, so to say. So I said,
I love Micro.
dude. Micro is amazing.
So, in the comics, I always equate him because he's very much like what the comic book version of Weasel is from the Deadpool comics, right? They're two
or Whistler from
Blade.
Yeah.
They're all very similar characters.
Right.
I love how they added the whole Micro is actually an NSA spook. He's basically Snowden.
Yeah.
In this, and so he has this whole reason to be paranoid, and he has that whole he watches everything on cameras, and he has his own little backdoor programs and cameras to identify and wipe them. So whenever Frank does anything, he wipes the cameras of them. I love that guy playing Micro.
Yeah. So you have that, and then you have. And I love the build up in regards to why, in order basically for the Punisher to be effective. So basically, the Punisher is the brawn of it. You need the brains of it. So. So he does, like I said, he has this thing where basically he has to basically put in this code every few hours and then do a retinal scan. So he does, like I said, this whole, it's literally, at first it kind of gets monotonous. I'm like, okay, like I said,
What is this guy doing?
What is this guy doing? Like I said, there's something going on, but you don't know what.
Yeah.
And so he does it the very last time, and then he injects the Punisher full of heroin, basically to knock him out. And so basically he conditioned the Punisher basically hey, he's done this multiple times. He knows exactly the process of what he's doing. But then, like I said, on that last time, so that way he has an advantage to him. He injects him full of heroin to knock him out, just so that way he can actually talk to him hey, I'm not trying to kill you. I need your help.
Yeah. It's kind of the thing because I mean, through the whole lead up into that, the Punisher is trying to like outspook him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the whole drive here in 20 minutes, and then he
Yeah.
gets that spot. It's like, okay, now drive here. Okay, now drive here. Like he's trying to like out, outspy the spy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's freaking out because he's been in hiding and he feels like he's been discovered. So now he's on this guy's tracks trying to figure out what Micro is and what he's about and where he's
What's he gonna
from
do?
and what kind of threat he
Threatens
poses.
his family, and
So it's really cool how that ended up playing out.
Yeah, so I like that the introduction of that character. I'm anxious to see how that's going to progress forward. And then there's a scene. I know you're in. How far are you in season? Or is it
I've
episode three?
only got halfway through
Okay.
the third episode.
Have you gotten to the point of where they're at when he's going on that last military job?
No,
I haven't gotten there yet.
All right,
I haven't gotten
so
there.
There's a scene in there, so I'm not gonna give like any spoilers, but there's a scene in there. It literally reminds me, and you'll know when you see it. It reminds me of that scene in the second season of Daredevil of the prison scene, where basically there's just an unbelievable number of dudes, and then you have like the one dude, basically the one man army, just going
Just
through
destroying everything.
everything and kicking ass. Like
Oh yeah, you're talking about that stairway scene in Daredevil season 2.
no, I'm talking about
at the prison where
at
he
the
has
prison.
all he
Oh, yeah,
has
okay.
is the shank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
so all he
bad.
has is a shank,
Takes out
and
like
then-
25 inmates.
Yeah, so the Kingpin basically sets up a hit on him and says like, "Hey, you know what? There's no way.
I'll give you what you want, but I'm gonna have you killed right afterwards."
Oh, awesome.
Like thing, but yeah, that I've not gotten to that, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
'cause
so
I like
that
when he
is-
rampages. Like that's I think
that
one
is
of my
in
favorites.
that is in season 3, and like it's an epic. Oh, sorry, that's in episode 3. That's an epic rampage. Like
Yeah.
it's beyond belief. It's
Right.
amazing. So like I said, if you haven't checked out Punisher,
Do it.
Definitely go check out Punisher. Like I said, it's one of those shows. Like I said, it's automatically now my favorite Netflix show. I'm taking my time and watching it. I said I'll probably finish it by next weekend, but like I said, it's amazing.
I'm
Definitely recommend.
doing slowly going through it because you have to.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
far as Marvel shows go, this and Daredevil are definitely top two for
Top
me.
twos. So
Have they talked about renewing it already yet? Are there talks about that yet? Or is it too
I don't
soon?
think they've said anything.
I mean,
yet.
it just dropped. So
yeah. I'm sure there's
I
going to be a
can't see
second
why they
season.
wouldn't.
I can't see why
The
they
critic
wouldn't.
reviews of this are so high that there's going to be another one.
really,
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think
Even
like,
the fan reaction. I
the
mean,
fan
people
reaction,
are
everything,
loving this.
I would guarantee there's going to be another one just based on what I've seen and the feedback that's
Cool.
come through. I would estimate that next year around this time we probably have another Punisher series.
Yeah, I think the only thing that'll hold us up, and I think this is where the big question mark is right now, is what Disney's doing with their own streaming service. So are they going to let those fly, or like, hey, you know what?
From what I've heard, now granted this is all conjecture from news outlets and things like that, is that the streaming services for those shows that they already have the rights to, that they're producing their own shows for, will stay on Netflix.
Yeah.
So Daredevil,
Which I knew that
Punisher,
with Daredevil,
all that stuff.
but because Punisher was a fast track show, it was a late addition to
But
their whole contract.
the rights came during during Daredevil season 2, so he is bulked in with the Defenders. So there is that aspect that the Punisher should still stay with Netflix, at least for the foreseeable future.
I don't know. I honestly have a hard time tuning into a Disney streaming service, watching a dude kill a whole bunch of people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see Disney taking
I don't think
that.
those things. I think they'll want to keep Punisher far away from their own service.
Well, and why change a good thing? I mean, Netflix is doing a really good job with
It's
these
making them
series.
tons of money,
You know, it's making
so.
tons of money. These
Yeah.
characters that you didn't really know about,
I
you know,
get-
a year ago, now you know a whole lot more about, and it's building the brand.
Yeah, well, and I get taking like the kids movies and all the kids TV shows and stuff that you have, that a lot of people, Netflix is the only one with those Disney series on it. So why not put it on your own streaming services, push
Yeah,
everyone to that?
they can keep the Apple Dumpling Gang. You know, I
Yeah.
don't need to watch it anymore.
Yeah, like all that stuff. So
I mean, it's an interesting point, though. I mean, if you think about it, you know, look at what Disney has done just in their small time that they've owned Marvel, and the movies that they've made, the Marvel movies, they've done a really great job.
they are,
You know, even though I
masters
love what
of
Netflix is
building that
doing,
stuff.
it'd be interesting to see what Disney did with a television series, you know, of a Marvel character.
Disney already had too much of a hand in the freaking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I don't actually have very good faith in them in making a good TV show.
Oh yeah, I never watched that. But
And like I said,
I've heard.
I see that because, like I said, if you look at ABC Studios is the executive producing studios of Punisher.
Yes.
So of this Punisher show, which I was shocked to see. So I think it's a matter of difference between what they can put on network. So with Agents of Shield, I blame network TV.
Right. Well, they have to keep it.
They need something.
PG
They need
and-
something that very networky that they can put on this. But yeah, so ABC Studios is actually the executive producing studio.
I didn't see that Punisher was ABC.
Yeah, I did not know
Punisher
that.
is
That's the
ABC
first
Studios.
one of
That's
that.
interesting.
Then.
Second, because second season of Daredevil
Was it? Okay.
ABC Studios show.
So that works. Well,
So speaking of Disney, Disney
there-
also has
something else new that came out. Leo and I had talked about this on Friday.
They I got the email. Well, I buy movies on Amazon primarily now. I'm a digital copy whore. I don't have physical copies of anything, books, movies, anything.
Leo's a minimalist.
Yeah, I am
He is.
very much so. No, but I will not hashtag tiny house. I
If,
can't
if,
do that.
if you turn around and look at the thing, I have two giant bookcases full of movies just right behind Leo. I'm
Yeah,
sure it gives
hard
him
pass.
an aneurysm.
Well, yeah, because they don't match. They're all different. My OCD doesn't call for that.
Okay, real quick though, real quick. I want to put a listener question out there right now. Just because like I said, me and Leo have had this argument.
Yeah.
Like I said, back and forth.
Add a comment on the SoundCloud
Add
or
a
throw
comment on SoundCloud,
YouTube comment on the YouTube version,
comment
whatever
on the
one you're
YouTube
listening to
version.
this still on.
No matter where you're at. He said you can send us a message on Instagram on this episode tag. Whatever. This is what I want to say. So, as a movie watcher, is there, like I said, why would you go with a digital copy if the digital copy costs the same amount as the physical media when the physical media
Comes
still
with
comes with
a digital
digital copy? So
I can get it's a 2-for-1.
yeah.
There
Yep.
is yes, there is
No,
the
you-
space.
No, you bring a valid argument because in our conversations about that, I could turn around and sell the movie right away. I'm not going to get full for it, of course. I'll get whatever I get, and I
You're
get
gonna-
something.
But you're gonna
Well,
get
yeah.
a discount.
But it's that second action that I don't feel like doing. I just want to rent the movie or buy the movie, watch it, and
Hit
call
it
it a
and
day.
call
I
it-
don't want to
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
I don't want to deal with it
so
anymore.
so for Leo, for you, it's a convenience.
it's a
factor.
convenience and a space thing.
Right.
I'm still all about the physical copy. I mean,
Are you?
Yeah.
See,
there's
I'm the
some
same
things
way.
I've downloaded
I love
from
the
digital,
physical.
but even like with games, that gives you something to barter with later on. If you have a
Absolutely,
digital
yeah.
copy of a game that maybe I didn't like so much,
Oh,
now I want to
you're
get
stuck
rid of,
with it. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't do anything
I can't
about
take it to GameStop and exchange a digital copy. It's over. It's
But
done.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
mine.
how many of us have gone to GameStop and are like, okay, I'm going to trade in these 4 or 5 games so I can spend $30 less on this new game that I
Yeah.
want.
100%. I do it a
No,
lot.
I'm the same way. Well, especially if it's a comic book
No.
related movie, like I have to have them.
I'll give it this way: if the digital drops
Yeah, if
in
there's
price,
if there's a price difference,
I'll go digital all the time.
Yeah.
But I get the digital for the same price with a physical media.
So it's a matter of
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because for me, why not get 2 for 1? Like there's no incentive for me to go digital only at this point because
There
they're
really
both
isn't.
they're both
Yeah.
$20.
Yeah, so if you go on an airplane, you can now watch that digital copy of
If-
something that you
yeah.
just bought, or you can watch it at home with the physical. You can use it
I can
in
do it in
multiple
multiple
places.
locations, right?
Yeah.
So side tangent. Continue, Leo.
Yeah, so-
So yeah,
Good
Disney. I think it was 3 years ago we discovered it, or we got the email from Amazon and Disney that they were
Partner.
joining forces with their Disney Anywhere program. So any Disney movie you bought was available cross-platform. So if you buy it
As long as you
physically, even
as long as you registered it on their
yeah,
Disney,
you had to register on
whatever.
Disney's website,
Yeah.
and then you could watch it on Amazon through a Chromecast, through a Fire Stick or Chromecast or Apple TV, wherever you wanted to go.
kind of like a
It was great. I mean, because you weren't stuck to a physical copy or one particular device. Because as you guys know, I have everything but Apple in the house.
Well,
I'm a minimalist, but I
almost-
have a lot of shit.
everything I have has Amazon's video app on it, but I can't tell you how many of the Disney apps I have. Like I don't have those on there. I'm not going to physically go
Right.
and look for that.
Right, and it may not be available on PS4 or they
All
just
that.
they don't.
But
don't-
Amazon
yeah.
is.
But
yeah, well,
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, and you think about it, like Amazon and anything else, like Roku's, they've got all the apps available. So if it's something Disney specific, it's like, are you limiting yourself by using that, or
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that, they were allowing you to sort of cross-platform. So, I'd buy some on iTunes when I had my first iPhone. So now those came over, or some of the physical copies I did have, those carried over to the Amazon app. So anyway, we get an email on Tuesday or Wednesday saying they're discontinuing the program, and I flip out because I'm like, great, now I have to download another app, or there go my movies. But something that I've wanted for a long time, since the Ultraviolet program kind of rolled out, was being able to put everything in one place. Because I have stuff on Google Play, I have stuff on iTunes, I have stuff
It's everywhere.
on UV, Voodoo, whatever the hell they're called. It was annoying, right? Because you buy Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, you can't watch it on a Chromecast unless you buy it there again. Or if you buy this movie, you can't watch it on that platform.
Right.
So anyway,
the
with
digital copy, let me watch it wherever.
yeah,
I
let
want.
me watch it. Yeah. So anyway, they're discontinuing the program, but I guess 20th Century Fox, Disney, and a couple other studios are coming together, and they created Movies Anywhere, which allow you to bring those 5 big platforms into one single area. Yeah.
Thank God.
Right. Yeah.
about time.
So excited. The biggest part was the iTunes integration. All the movies, like I have Lincoln, a couple other movies that I bought on iTunes, thinking that would be the platform I stayed on, and I could never watch it. I don't have an Apple TV. I don't have an iPhone anymore. So they were just sitting there. So now, anyway, they're available, and with Disney as well. So all the movies that I thought I was going to lose are still available through this program, and you can link it with Amazon, so you can throw it on your Fire Stick.
That is amazing news.
See, I'm excited for that, just because that way I don't have to necessarily keep on changing discs in and out for stuff. This I know we've been begging. I know beggars can't be choosers, but this is gonna be my next thing. So I'm like, okay, so it took us 3 years to get to that point in time of where
It's one platform.
Where it's one platform. So thank you everyone out there for making that happen. My only other complaint. So this is my other asterisk in regards to what I want as a consumer. So if I am buying a movie, I think this is going to be more prevalent, especially as we get into Black Friday coming up, when more people are going to be buying 4K TVs and this, that, and the other. The digital copy that comes with that. So they have you're just streaming the movie from them, but you don't get to stream the 4K copy. You stream
Just a regular HD.
the regular HD copy.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
If you buy a 4K
If
movie,
I buy
you're not streaming 4K.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
So if I buy the 4K movie, so like, for example, like Spider-Man: Homecoming.
So the only 4K you get is on the disc.
the only 4K I get is on the disc.
Huh.
However, though, it's not something that 4K you can't stream 4K
Because you can go buy the streaming 4K version.
because you can buy a streaming 4K version from
so
like
it's
Amazon.
not a
and stuff like that.
limitation.
So it's not a limitation.
It's just they decided not to do the 4K on the disc.
Huh.
So that needs to change.
So and that's the only thing that they need to tweak for me, just because if I'm spending the extra for 4K, you know what? I want, basically, if I'm doing the Movies Anywhere, I want to be able to actually
Yeah.
stream in
In
4K as
4K.
well.
Well, I
Yeah.
think to your guys' point, like the form factor price needs to kind of equalize as well. Like if you're just buying a digital copy, why is it the same
$20 as a
both?
physical copy with the digital copy
Yeah.
included.
So it makes me then that just confirms something that I've known for the longest time. It literally costs them nothing to pump out the
doesn't.
physical copies.
Oh, no.
If they're not willing to discount their digital copy at all, like I said, it could be a $5 difference.
It's not even an incentive.
It's just been a default, and that's the cost of movies. So regardless of how you
the
buy
only
it, a movie
incentive-
costs you
Right.
$20.
Yeah, the only incentive that they've offered, and they've been trying to bank on this, which I think it's gained some more popularity, just not with me, because I could care less. I could wait. So is the digital copy will typically release like a week or
early,
two,
yeah.
week or two early,
Yeah.
before the physical disc. But I've waited a little long. I'm like, I can wait another 2 weeks. Because at that point in time, I maybe have already seen it in the theater.
Oh yeah, you've already seen
yeah,
it. Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter to me. So it's not necessarily a true incentive.
So thinking about things here, there's another Disney thing actually that came up, kind of technically on a weird
Star
off chance.
Wars is
Star Wars Disney,
It's a
right?
Disney property.
We have to talk about the shenanigans that occurred with Disney and EA in particular about the Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Like, we have to talk about the stuff that went
So
on.
yeah, even before Battlefront 2 came out, there was a lot of controversy about the microtransactions.
Well, and if you go back because we talked about, one of our episodes was the Battlefront beta that we talked about, because I was able to get on the beta and actually played the game. And that was one of the things I didn't like about it was your character level was tied to these star cards, which you had to get these loot boxes, which you'd earn in different ways, but one of the ways would be to pay real world money for it, right? Yeah, that's how you leveled up in multiplayer, and how you got better stuff in multiplayer wasn't based on, how you play. Like Leo, you can jump in on this. Not so much now because it's very much loot crate based again, but the old school Call of Duties, you wanted a nice gun. What did you have to do?
You have to get lucky, or
You have to grind it out.
or
Grind it
spend
out.
real money.
Spend real money. Or even in the old games, you'd have to play and you'd be like, I can't get that gun till I'm level 45. I want that one. I'm going to have to get my ass to level 45. Like, I'm going to have to get kills. I'm going to have to play the objective.
But you can't get there because all the people who spent real money to get it are killing the shit out of you.
Yeah, exactly. So in this one, they took out that whole thing. Are like, we're going to just base everything off of buying money or playing these crates. So even in the beta, like, I never played the recon or like the sniper class, but I had like a level 8 sniper character just because of the cards I had unlocked randomly for him. But the heavy, which is the one that I usually play, I was like level 4 for the longest time because I never got cards for that class.
Mm-hmm.
So it was never the progression just didn't work.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like microtransactions, they're nothing new. I mean, there's a lot of games that have had them, but the more that you started learning about these within Battlefront 2, it costs what, $2,000 to unlock everything?
Or what was it, 4,500 some hours if you want to actually get everything through the game?
Because I have both of those things.
Well, let's say that again: 4,000 hours to unlock everything that they released in microtransactions. I mean, that's kind of crazy because if you're going to release a microtransaction, I get it. You get some guy that wants to advance early; he wants to unlock his character early. Okay, pay the little extra to do it, but then make it easier. Don't make it some outlandish 4,000 hour goal for me as a player when I don't want to spend that extra money. That just turns me off from even playing the game.
Well, and here's the thing with the game. I've gotten a chance. I've put it in. I've played it a little bit. I'll probably throw some up on our channel.
Just because I had to bust out the calculator to do the math. So 4,000 hours. So basically, it's a part-time job. So if it take you 20 weeks. It'd take you 40 weeks at putting 20 hours in each week into that game.
Has
It's
anybody
a part-time job to play a fucking video game.
has anybody at this table ever put 4,000 hours into any game?
No. 100 hours.
Other than my job, no.
100 hours
exactly.
is probably the most I've ever gotten into some of the old school RPGs.
Yeah, so I think the max I've put in is like 300, because I looked this up after the 317 hours, and I put that into Skyrim.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Skyrim is probably one of the ones where I've had, on all my playthroughs, I'm pretty sure I have a couple hundred hours.
And that's just because I did side quests and this, that, and the
Went
other.
and built a
And then
house.
that's also including the expansions. Too.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, I've gotten a chance to play the game. The game is beautiful. Like,
A lot better than the first one.
It's the first one was great in terms
the
of
first one was
graphic
gorgeous,
quality
yeah.
and the looks of it. It's better. Like, it is a good looking game. And that is completely overshadowed by this whole thing because the studio is greedy.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, the game itself I've heard is really fun. You guys played the beta. You said it was a lot better as far as gameplay mechanics. The way that they've decided.
They added the class system this time, so you don't build like a loadout. You actually have like
That's cool.
classes and things.
That's cool.
So
Yeah, and the graphics are amazing, and it's just all being overshadowed by what's going on. And
just think
I
of it
think
this
it's
way.
interesting that it took Disney to get involved to get this to stop.
Imagine being one of the people that worked on that game and to put all your hard work in and for it to come out and get reviewed at like a 30 out of 100 only
that
because
reason?
of the microtransaction aspect.
I'm going to play a little devil's advocate right now, because I'm going to ask you guys a question. And I want to know each one of your guys' kind of thoughts and answers to this. So, honestly, I have never ever paid for anything in a game ever. Like I said, cell phone game, anything else. Like I said, I have never paid for a single thing in a game,
Excluding expansions.
or
Does that include?
Like expansion
Have you
season
not-
passes are different.
Yeah, those are different.
That's another.
Yeah.
That's a
So
discussion
you're
for
talking
another
about
day.
strictly
Yeah.
microtransactions.
just strictly microtransactions.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: so would you rather have it where games currently stay the price they are right now at $59.99, or they've raised games to up to $79.99 or $89.99. So basically they put another like $30-$40 on top of that, and then they release all the content. So there's this, it's kind
So
of
you're basically taking the
because-
season pass and just incorporating it automatically into the price of the game.
Exactly.
Which-
so there's kind of two different things, because I honestly, because I know that EA's gotten a lot of shit for this, and the way they did it was, like I said, super shitty. But I see both sides of the house. Like for me, like I said, there hasn't been a price increase, and knock on wood, in games since the launch of the original Xbox 360 and the PS3.
They've stayed a constant $60 price.
Yeah, and they've got consistently better over time.
Yeah, they've gotten competitive, which means they're putting more hours into these games. There's more effort and there's more stuff that's going into these games.
Now,
so like I said, it's a matter of, okay, so what? Simple question. Like I said, would you rather have a $90 game or a $60 game with microtransactions? Leo.
I'd say leave it the same, because I've gotten along without microtransactions so far.
Yeah.
I would say if it's a franchise that I know I'm gonna love and I'm already fully on board, I would rather pay one set price for everything, to be honest with you, up front. But then on the flip side, if there's a new franchise that I'm not so sure about, that you pay that $60 entry fee, and then you can choose whether or not you want to add it on. So I think if it's still an option later on, I might want to pay full price for a game that I know that I'm gonna want all the content for.
I'm going to go with it. It depends on the game and what it is. Like if it's a game that I'm not sure about, I probably am going to just buy the $60.
Right.
That's what I'm getting
So
at.
maybe do this. So maybe roll everything into basically. So every game has basically a season pass. So basically a supplemental package that you can
Yeah,
add.
they can create a pricing strategy that can do base game, micro plus base game, micro plus base game plus DLCs.
Yeah.
Well, and you kind of got that if you got Injustice 2, the Ultimate Edition. It included all the fighter packs, which I thought was pretty cool, because I was a huge fan of the first Injustice. I bought all the fighter packs anyways, so I just bought the Ultimate Edition when it came out. Yeah, it was $100 I think for that version.
Mm-hmm. But you got all
got all the packs, which it's 3 characters per pack. You got 4 packs. You're getting 12 additional characters. That's a ton of content.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned it'd take you 4,000 hours to get all this. Have all the games kind of leveled at having to put in that much work to get the content?
Not necessarily, yeah.
I don't think so.
So
then maybe to the devil's advocate point, I feel like maybe that was kind of the intention, was to just be in the game more and earn it.
Right.
But 4,000 hours, that's a little
This
excessive.
one went to extremes, because Leo, we talked about Assassin's Creed Origins. Nate, I know you just bought it. How far have you gotten into the game?
I played it for probably about a good 3 hours.
Okay. So have you gotten to the point where it talks about the store?
Yes.
That is the one and only time it will ever tell you to go to the store.
Yeah, I saw that it was mentioned. Sometimes you can go to it through the menu, but it's not forcing it on you.
That's forcing. And everything in the game, you can, through playing the game, you can get everything. You can level your character up to the max. There is no reason for you to ever go into that store.
Well, you earn it, but you can earn it by actually achieving it, not spending 2 years to get there.
It. Or if you're like what they made the packs for is they have like the time saver packs, so you have to get resources to upgrade your gear.
Yeah, and
if you want to go buy, you can go buy those resources, so you don't have to go and find it.
Well, it's like what Jeremy said earlier. I have never paid any money as far as microtransactions. I talked about the DLC and the expansion packs. Yeah, I'll buy that. But as far as unlockable gear
loot crate or whatever,
getting this special sword or something, I won't do that. So I don't even, Ubisoft threw that at me when I was playing Origins. I looked at it and then I never gave it another second thought.
And you never have to. I mean, they gave you credit. Like, here, try out some credits. I went and bought something with it because I was like, I'll just see it, because I needed like one thing and I was being lazy, so I bought one of the fast resource packs, because they give you a free, go try out the store. You can get 250 of their little fake money that you can use.
See, I missed that. I need to go back and check that out.
So I bought the whatever I could for what they gave me, and then went back to the game. And I don't think I've ever hit the button to go back to the store ever again.
Yeah,
I am fully maxed out level. I have legendary gear on everything. There's nothing that I could have bought that would have made me any better than I am now.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't checked out the review that Scott and Leo did on Origins, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
it was the reason why I went and picked it up, and I totally agree. It's a great game.
Yeah.
No, I am picking it up actually on Thursday.
Black Friday?
Black
Yeah.
Thursday, Black Friday.
Yeah, whatever.
Because it's going to be half price. And so I'm like, yeah, it's
You
my-
gotta get it, dude. It's a wonderful thing.
I know we're getting toward the end here, but there is a lot of great Black Friday deals. A lot of good games, just like what Jeremy just stated, are going on sale for
brand new
$35,
games.
Yeah.
$30. Origins on sale for $35.
My pickup is going to be Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Because that's
Wolfenstein's-
dropping down to what, 25, I
20,
think?
25,
So,
that's $25. There's a ton of like, good games out there. I'm like, well, honestly, like I never got into it. I never played the Horizon Zero Dawn. And Scott's basically told me to play this game like
Great game. Such a
multiple
great
times.
game.
That's $15.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, for $15, I'm like, I can pick it up because like that's what I'll typically do, like on like Black Thursday, Black Friday now.
That was a sleeper game.
I totally agree. That was a
was-
great game. I picked it up kind of on a whim, and I'm so happy that
I didn't
I
think
did.
it was going to be as good as it was. Like I knew it was going to be good because of, the studios and everything that put it out are generally really good. But what actually came out with it was a phenomenal story, and it's the post-apocalypse, but it's way different than you expect.
And that's
Like,
going to be
when you
what,
get through the
$20
whole thing.
for Black? $15.
$15.
As
That is
Scott's
such a solid
recommendation,
deal.
and I think Nate's going to jump in on this too, is if you get a chance on Black Friday, if you've listened to this before the deals and everything, pick up Horizon Zero Dawn. It's phenomenal game.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, so that's $15. So I know what I'm gonna be buying for Black Friday, like Thursday. A whole bunch of video games, so like this stuff that I just haven't had time to play, or stuff that I didn't pick up. I said like Wolfenstein's gonna be one of those. I'm gonna pick up Origins. I'm gonna pick up Horizon Zero Dawn. There's a ton of games that came out like I said recently or the last year that I
This
never
Black
picked up.
Friday is the Black Friday of games, because really there's nothing else really that's that great of deals that I've seen at most of these stores.
Yeah, I mean, I've told you guys already, but I'm going to be going a little bit crazy this Black Friday. I'm going to get a Switch. Unfortunately, I haven't really seen any deals on it, but the games are being discounted, so I'm going to do that and then get some of these PS4 games that I haven't been able to pick up yet.
Yeah.
No, I am that same way. Like I said, that's literally I literally have all the shopping done for like my family and stuff like that. So honestly, Thursday, Friday, it's all about
video games.
It's all about video games and buying a couple things. Also, too, for you Funko collectors out there, GameStop is doing their Funko Black Friday box again. This time there's actually Chase figures that are actually involved in the Black Friday box. So it's $20. The number of boxes vary per store, so you definitely gotta check that out.
Awesome. Yeah,
Perfect.
if you're a Funko collector, that'd be a good thing to jump on.
Most definitely.
All right, I think that does it for this week's episode. Or wait,
No, I was just getting ready to say goodbye.
Yeah, don't stop. We're good. I think whatever else we have, I think we definitely can save for the next one.
yes, absolutely. So for this week's episode, I'm Jeremy,
I'm Leo.
This is Nate.
And I'm Scott.
and we're the STS guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.